A boy named Ajie introduces himself and tells us about his life. He's usually antisocial, but has a good heart. He also happens to be a great cook, and one day the delicious ramen he makes attracts the attention of a beautiful goddess named Dora. Ajie is shocked to see her, and then she transforms into a child and eats all his food. Ajie tries his best to get rid of Dora, but she keeps coming back and empties his entire refrigerator. Upon further questioning, she says that she's Ajie's summoned spirit, but then he goes off to school. However, Dora follows him and continues to pester him about making a contract with her. Ajie tries to ignore her, and then he meets a girl who gives him a romantic letter. However, Dora appears again, and he shouts at her, but doesn't realize that other humans cannot see her. So the girl cries and runs away. Ajie has had enough of this, so he tries to send Dora away. She transforms back into her true form and has one last walk with him. Here, she tells him about summoners and identifies him as one of them. She goes on to show Ajie his powers, and then he finally agrees to sign her contract. Now that they are bonded for life, Dora flies him around, but they fall down when she gets hungry again. At night, Dora shows Ajie his healing abilities, but then she suddenly experiences a horrifying vision from her suppressed memories. Later, Dora and Ajie hang out by the pool, but then she is attacked and swallowed by a plant named Green Ball. Ajie chases after them and winds up at a club festival. Here, he avoids an awkward encounter with the brother of the girl he rejected. He also meets with a boy who offers him to join his supernatural research association, but Dora's cries grow weaker, so Ajie ignores him as well. He finally tracks down Green Ball and helps Dora escape. Then we learn that Green Ball is the summoned spirit of a girl named Hannah. Dora attacks them, but they vanish. Hannah is revealed to be working for her grandfather Harlan, who wants to test out Ajie's and Dora's true abilities. Later, Hannah meets Ajie in school and gives him a letter telling him to meet her in the forest nearby. Ajie and Dora follow her instructions, but when they meet her and Green Ball, Ajie is asked to hand over Dora. He refuses to do so, and Hannah launches an attack on them. Ajie struggles to keep up with Hannah, and then she summons a tree monster to attack Dora. The monster is about to hurt her, but Ajie protects her, and then they use Dora's magical cleavers to break free. After a brief battle, Ajie defeats the tree. Now Dora attacks Hannah, but Ajie stops her and reveals that she was holding back her true powers. The two parties resolve their differences and go back to Ajie's place to feast on his food. Green Ball discloses that Ajie and Dora were suspected to be evil summoners, but they've cleared the test now. However, Hannah says she'll still keep an eye on them and leaves. Now we see a woman getting sent to the human world after losing touch with her brother Crow. She uses her powers to control wild animals that take over the city upon her instructions. Ajie finds the girl and learns that she's a summoner after trying to save her. Hannah and Green Ball also arrive and get into a confrontation with the girl. They begin their battle, and the girl is able to match Hannah's attacks with her speed. She also uses her animal powers to fight the tree monster using bear, wolf, and snake forms. The battle rages on, and things are about to get dangerous, so Ajie and Dora stop the fighters with soul shackles. Then we learn that the girl is actually a summoned spirit of a cat named Meowoo that Ajie has been taken care of. He tends to Meowoo's injuries, and Dora tries to convince the others not to attack them now. However, Hannah warns them, saying they've picked the wrong enemy. At night, Meowoo talks about Crow and reveals that she created the commotion on Earth to get her brother's attention. We also see Crow watching the group from a distance. The next day, the group is forcefully taken to Hannah's residence, which is called the Black Rose Mansion. They witness all the different spirit elements and learn they are all controlled by one summoner, Harlan. The group finds a statue of the goddess Pandora, and she seemingly calls out to Ajie in a vision, but he shakes it off as a hallucination. The group goes on to meet Harlan, who is also the head of the Black Rose family. He tells them about a crystal that is considered to be the origin of all summoners and how its existence led to several wars. He also tells them about the two types of summoners, Watchers and Destroyers. Ajie tries to act distant, but then Harlan brings up his past when he was abandoned by his parents. He also explains to Meowoo that her brother is now a wanted criminal working with the Destroyers. They feast on some food, but are suddenly attacked by the destroyers, consisting of Ruthless, Flame, Crow, and Shadow. Harlan faces off against Ruthless, and the others try to escape, but Greenball and Hannah have to fight Flame. Now Miyawu finds Crow and calls out to him, but he attacks her and knocks her down. Hajie goes for Crow, but is abruptly sent to a vision of his mother that eventually turns into a nightmare. Harlan dominates against Ruthless, but he witnesses Shadow killing Hannah, so he quickly revives her. However, this allows all the destroyers to team up and kill him. Harlan does manage to awaken his inner powers to fight them again, but this time, the leader Huan Xin shows up and absorbs his soul, thus killing him in the process. The team is devastated over this unfortunate turn of events, but then Ajie finds a lead to a tech-savvy Mo summoner named Stan and figures that she might be able to help them against the destroyers. Stan hosts a book signing event where Ajie arrives in disguise, but she immediately identifies him and the others as well. Stan realizes why they're here and reveals that the group was actually attacked by 7 destroyers instead of 5. She doesn't have any time to explain herself though, as a bunch of mechanical assassins show up and fire at them. The group escapes in one of Stan's remote-controlled cars, but the robots catch up to them and try to kill Stan as she had hacked into the destroyer's headquarters. Dora and Miyawu try to attack the robots, but they're too fast for them, and the group gets cornered. That's when Stan decides to summon her transformer and takes down the robots with it. However, her transformer explodes soon after, and we learn that Stan is actually the boy who had met Ajie earlier. Stan agrees to help the team, so they go to his van and ask him how to deal with the destroyers. He explained that the evil gang has been stealing spirits for a while, and all of this started happening on March 17th, the same day that Dora had first met Ajie. Later in the night, the team visits the broken-down Black Rose Manor, and Stan investigates it. He explains to the team that Ruthless was able to sneak into the mansion by using a portal made by a space summoner. Then he goes on to explain how a dream summoner had put Ajie in a trance when he went to attack Crow. After Stan goes through all of the destroyers' profiles, he takes the team through a spirit museum and explains how Hannah's family had collected and observed spirits for ages, but now all of them had been stolen by Huan Xin and his gang. After some investigation, the team finds a clue that leads them to the stone forest, so they decide to check it out. On their way to the forest, Dora mentions that she's over 3 million years old, but can't remember any of her memories. Stan scans her body and concludes that her memories have been sealed away by an external force. Now the group reaches the forest and they notice a lot of red spider lilies. They also see a man in a cabin who starts shoveling to grow more flowers. Stan tries to identify the man, but is unable to do so due to a slow network. Then Dora is scared by a rat and this exposes Ajie as the man calls out to him. They sit down and have a chat, during which the man states that he had planted all these flowers alone despite the land being barren before. He also mentions a woman who inspired him to carry on with her vision of making the stone forest a fertile area. Unfortunately, a thunderstorm arrives and the man panics when he sees his flowers dying. That's when Stan finally gets network and realizes that this person is Moduo, who is the alter ego of the destroyer Ruthless. Moduo transforms into his lethal form and attacks Ajie. His skin is too thick for Dora's cleavers to penetrate, so she starts gathering her energy. Meanwhile, Miyawu and Stan try their best to keep Moduo busy till Dora is ready. However, they are beaten, and Moduo breaks the ground to reveal that the flowers have been growing from the skeletons of dead villagers. Dora is charged up now, so she blesses Ajie with knowledge on how to use his skills, and this allows him to awaken his powers and defeat Moduo with a relative ease. He stabs Moduo's core, which turns him back to his human form. As Dora prepares to kill him, he tells the team about his past, when he was treated as a monster by the residents of his village. He was kept as a prisoner, and then he met a girl named Ahua who treated him kindly. They became close to each other and grew plans together using Moduo's powers. But one night, the villagers tried to kill Moduo, and Ahua died while trying to protect him. This caused his internal parasite to awaken, and he ended up killing everyone in the village. We learned that Huan Xin had placed a seal on Moduo's core to keep his parasite in check. But now that the seal has been broken, he transforms into his monster avatar. This new form is extremely powerful and Ajie can't hurt him even after getting powered up by Dora. He is knocked out and then finds himself in Dora's soul, where he frees one of the chains on her crystal heart. This allows Dora to turn into her goddess form, and she kills Moduo's monster with ease, after which she goes back to her child form. The team leaves now that Moduo is dead, but the destroyers reach soon after and vow revenge after seeing what has happened. The group tries to make their way to a hospital to heal Ajie's wounds, but then all of the destroyers arrive and kill everyone, including Ajie, who is then transported to an alternate dimension where he meets his father. He is shown the reality of what has happened and he breaks down in tears. Luckily, his dad offers him 3 minutes to change history, and he sends Ajie back in time after asking him to meet him at the demon furnace. Ajie wakes up to see everyone is still alive and comes up with a quick plan to fool the destroyers before they are found out. He rushes to meet Hannah, but she's not there and has left a letter saying that she'll see them at the demon furnace. Stan reveals that this is the holy place where all summoners go to get stronger. The team uses Hannah's helicopter and reaches the Sea of Death, where they manage to get through a storm to reach the island. However, the destroyers have followed them here and attacked. Stan manages to offer some protection by transforming the chopper into a robot, but it doesn't last long and the team is cornered. Luckily, a woman named Bonnie arrives and prevents the destroyers from attacking, as it's against the rules of the Demon Furnace Island. Huan Xin accepts the rules and the destroyers retreat for now. Then Bonnie instructs the team to see her at the performance arena, which is quite far away. Luckily, they meet a man named Richard who offers them a ride on his lizard. He explains that this island is a safe haven made by both watchers and destroyers, so everyone respects the peace regardless of their morals. Richard and the team eventually make it to the Demon Furnace arena, where Bonnie announces the rules to everyone. Everyone has to pass through certain doors based on wealth, beauty, strength, and reputation. Each of the members uses their own tricks to get through specific doors, while Richard makes it through on his reputation as a world-renowned criminal. The participants are taken down to the first checkpoint and are told that they have to make their way up to the 10th floor. Our heroes use the hotel's facilities, but we learn that the trials have already begun, as the boss of this floor, Reynolds, is a trickster. Ajie and the others learn that Hannah has already made it to the 11th round and decide to get some sleep. At night, Ajie and Dora realize that their room is actually a trap, and Dora summons a skeleton key to help them escape. Miawu and Stan also get out of their rooms, and then Reynolds reveals that everyone will pass the round if they escape the hotel alive. A flurry of traps is set off, but our heroes manage to make it through to Reynolds along with the other survivors. He gives everyone a treasure chest as a reward for making it this far, and Stan gets the jackpot treasure, which is an assortment of weapons. Everyone moves on to the next floor, where they meet Bonnie, who is their new boss. Her task is a massive race where only the first 15 contestants to finish will make it to the next round. Meanwhile, Huan Xin and the destroyers awaken a sinister being. Each of the contestants use their powers to make their way through the race, and even Stan uses a nuclear missile as his ride. However, some of the losers start to attack the others, and our heroes unite with a renowned manga artist named Hiro to defeat them. After all the chaos settles down, they find themselves among the surviving 15 who make it through to the next round. Meanwhile, the destroyers watch the Furnace TV and see how the team is getting through the competition's other challenges that involve cooking and singing. Flame destroys the TV out of frustration, and then Huan Xin arrives with the new being and suggests going to the Demon Furnace. Later, Bonnie meets the elders and tells them that she collected 30,000 tons of spiritual energy from the competition. They instruct her to use the energy on Goddess Pandora, hoping to awaken her, as she is the source of all spirits. And that's the end of the show. Like, share, and subscribe for more recaps, and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. I'll see you in the next one.